Welcome to my life. It is almost midnight my time, but I am live. So I just decided to come on live. Let's talk. Let's just chat. Nothing particular. But I have some updates on P Diddy I'd like to share. You welcome to my life. Let's talk about the baby oil. The baby oil. For those of you out there who wanted role models, who were superstars, and for those of you whose role model is P Diddy, how is it going now? Wow. Let's talk about P Diddy. There are lots of updates this week about him I'd like for us to talk about. Give me a moment to share my life and we'll begin with the video. If you're watching, if you're joining in on Facebook, you're welcome. If you're joining in on YouTube, you're welcome. Every day we have news. Everywhere is boiling. You're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome to my life. Hi there. You're welcome to my live. Maya, hi. Thank you for joining. Where are you joining in, Maya? Why are you joining in? How are you doing today? When you join in, do well to like the video. Octorina, hi. Thank you so much for joining, Octorina. Do well to subscribe so you get notifications when I'm live, all right? Maya, I'm sorry about that. Like the video, like the video. Marcel, you're welcome. Natural face, look good, good vibes, positive you. Thank you so much. Please like the video. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe so you get notifications when next I am live. Marcel, thank you so much for joining. Guys, I need you to comment. I need you to tell me where you're joining in from. I need you to like the video. I need you all to like the video. Where are you joining in from? Where are you watching? Let's talk about the baby oil Diddy. There's so much going on about him. What are your thoughts about him? What are your thoughts about everything that's going on around him right now? He's been on the news for quite a while. He's been on the news for quite some time. I don't know if I'm going to say, unfortunately, he is the role model of so many people. So I need for those people to talk about it. Like the video. When you join in, like the video. Hi there, you're welcome. Where are you joining in from? I need to know where you're joining in from so I can greet you. I can give you a shout out. Yes. So I can give you a shout out. Tell me where you're joining in from. Nike, Thank you for joining. Nike is joining from India. Lots of love to you too. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about P Diddy. A lot has been going on around him since his incarceration. He's been on the news every day. There is update. Someone is saying something about him. Someone is, telling the world what he did. For being a black man and being that accomplished and being that rich and successful, obviously, it's amazing. There are not very many people like him. But what makes it even more amazing is the fact that he is a father of 6 beautiful children and lots of other responsibilities under his belt. For those of you watching from afar, from different countries, because this is an international celebrity that is worldwide known. Everybody knows him. So many people just look at him from afar. They just appreciate the kind of things he does, but nobody really knew who P Diddy actually was. At first, personally, when those informations began to make themselves public, I was doubting. I was wondering if that was really true. I couldn't even believe because I didn't see him in that light, That's someone who lived a perfect life, a perfect or a near perfect life. You could not imagine that he could hurt someone. You could not imagine that he could be caught up in a scandal like this. But unfortunately, he is in this scandal. He is on the news right now. He is trending everywhere and people are talking about it. So that is why I decided to talk about it today. Since I could not go to sleep, I just decided to talk about it. Now, if you're watching and you know anything about him, you know anything that's making news about him, you can, use the comment section and let me know. Otherwise, I have excerpts. Otherwise, I have clips because today there is this man who has given information, so much information. He even said he has tapes on that and he is willing to hand them over to the judge if need be. But I also have a couple of videos I'd like to share with you. You'd listen to the audios from the videos so we be on the same page. Hey there, you're welcome to my live. Thank you for joining my live. When you join the live, you like the video, okay? It's just a chit chat. I don't have anything particular I'm talking about today, just a chit chat. So I need it to be very interactive. When you join, you like the video. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe so you will get notifications when next I'm live. All right? Subscribe so you will get notifications when I'm live. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I am really glad that you all are here.
This is what happens when you come to my parties. I've seen it on Instagram and my grid many a time, where there was a guy who was lying down, face down, and was completely out.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man. It's so unfortunate.
Guys, did you hear that? He was actually trying to describe what happens at the P Diddy party. That's someone lying down, face down, and out. I don't know what that person took, but the person is lying down, face down, and out. So those were the kind of things that will happen in a P Diddy party, and nobody is going to tell you about that party. So lots of information, bits and bits. I know that some of the informations are not verified, but as long as it's in the news, we can talk about it. So what are your thoughts? Let me know what your thoughts are, okay? Let me know what your thoughts are.
Taking a seat. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look what you did take out his head. And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is an actual DJ. I'm supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him. I put him to sleep. Next day, right?
When they come to my party, I put them to sleep. You heard that?
You put the drink on his head. There you go. There it is. Damn.
Hi, my name
Wow.
is Jules Haas.
So now, those were the kind of fantasies that this man had. I personally cannot understand why such fantasies. I don't know how he enjoys things like that, to see people drink up until they lose their minds. They drink up until they don't even know where they are. I see a lot of intoxications in the videos. Why I cannot show you these videos is just because I feel that they are not verified. Yes, lots of them are on social media. If you just type that name P Diddy, you'll see lots of information on there. So I just want you, okay, I have another short clip. You should listen.
He has 11 flash drives.
I did watch a YouTube interview. I saw as of 2 weeks ago they haven't been in contact with you. What about today?
Yes.
So they have been in contact with you. Is that why you're here today?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. So were you surprised, or was that the call that you were kind of waiting for?
Surprise.
Oh. Do you feel like the interview had anything to do with it, or?
Yes.
Yeah? How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation. Frank Lucas, my godfather, and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him,
Not no personally.
Sean Combs?
Not personally.
But you know of him, he knows of you.
Yeah, I used to be in Tupac, Hussein Fatal. He stopped a lot of my music. A lot of other people who didn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not around today.
Right, so
From Def Jam Records.
you made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or?
That's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not.
So why were you recording?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court, so as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing.
Are you nervous, or do you feel?
I ain't never nervous. The only thing that's failing me is God.
No, we're trying.
There's this man, Shana Bujis. He's been subpoenaed by the courts, and he has lots of information about Diddy. He says he has 11 keys, flash drives, that he has information about this man. And in those flash drives, there are eight other stars in it, and there are victims as well on those drives. So I also went about to look for the exclusive of that interview. This man physically, Buji looks so much like TD Jakes, but he's not TD Jakes. He looks splitting. He has a splitting resemblance with TD Jakes. So let me play um, the entire interview. Now, listen to this, guys.
At least 8 Sean Diddy Combs sex tapes, including 8 celebrities. 6 of them were adults, 2 were minors, he said. Rogers testified before the Combs grand jury in the Southern District of New York on Thursday that among the 8 celebrities who were Combs' victims, 2 to 3 were minors.
Amongst the 8 Combs victims, 3 of them were minors. Let's listen to the entire interview now. I need you guys to focus.
And then, of course, he also has a memoirs of Kim Porter. That's the mother of the twins. And the children had come out and said that the memoir was not real. I don't know what to believe at this point. And everything is up for debate.
My next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not.
Okay,
Here
did
now
you
is my
hear that?
conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Yeah, well, I never been in his house, but the picture, yes, that's what took place.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms.
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that was a camera there because I was there. I was there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever. I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney, and Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said, the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I can't make it there. That's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. Yes, when we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant, or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena.
You all are welcome to my live. Thank you all for joining. I am just trying to play this interview about Burgess. He gives a lot of information about Diddy case. He actually testified in court recently. So just continue to listen.
They use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him a subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities?
8 celebrities on the videos, 5 men, 3 women. They know the celebrities, but they will not be named since the case is already in trial. It looks like these people were intoxicated. They don't even know if they were being recorded because they behaved like they had passed out. So let's continue to listen to that interview.
Were close to being underage or potentially underage.
2 males.
2 of them underage.
And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were right or appear to be.
Let me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
All 8 victims appeared to be intoxicated. This means that most of them were not even aware they were being recorded. Let's continue to listen to Burgess.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
So he took advantage of all of them.
Were perpetrating.
Victims.
They were all victimized,
Yeah.
meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right.
They were not
Not
aware.
knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
That's bad.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, or possibly 3.
3 minors
2 to 3.
involved.
Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know. We don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60,
Okay.
only about 54 pages.
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here,
Yeah.
the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client Courtney receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, "I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print"?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer
I
that.
received it from a man. I told you, somebody she was dating.
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I received it.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim
Just
Porter.
saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get Kim
Ariel.
to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with
No, I
her
was
or?
talking to the person and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later,
Then
somebody brought somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess it's a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through is, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in a relationship. And when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Your lawyer just said the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown. I entered into Big B, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could beat, and then he ended up turning to Lucifer. And today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puffy. I call him Lucifer.
I don't know what to believe at this point. And everything.
Did you all hear that? That's Courtney Bougie. He gave his testimony in court and he is the lead witness against Diddy case. He is actually saying that he has tapes, 8 tapes containing 8 superstars, 8 mega stars, 8 stars, your mega stars. 8 of them were seen in those tapes, being intoxicated, being recorded, and nasty things being done to them without their knowledge. That's typical of a Diddy party. That's typical of a baby oil party. And now this man goes ahead to say that he also has read Kim Porter's memoir. She had manuscripts written and that she gave them to her lawyer that they should be printed in case she's not there to do it herself so people can read. And Bougie will just not tell us what is inside those scripts. Now I begin to wonder, how does a man get pleasure with things like that? How? Ever since I have been seeing bits and pieces of evidences against him, I just want to try to understand how his head functions inside. For the fact that you can see me, I can see you, we can have a conversation, I think that is good. So how do you get to converse? How do you get to do stuff with people that look like they are unalive? They look like they are not living. Because most of the people in that video, in the snippets that I just played to you, they were all intoxicated. They didn't even know where they were. They were lying face down on the ground, and then he would just come do stuff. How does someone even enjoy something like that? It's insane. If you guys have ever been to the morgue, you just go there, you see people lying still. I can tell you that from what I saw in this video, that's how the people looked like. They were just lying still, you know. And it is really bad that someone that is held in very high esteem can perpetrate actions like that. According to Courtney Bougie, there are three of them who are minors. 3 of them who are minors. Even if you want to catch your fantasies, even if you have your fetishes, why not operate with adults? Why involve kids in your charade, in your business, when you know that what you're about to do is unacceptable by law, and doing it with minors is even punishable? Why? I used to imagine, say, 15 years, 20 years back, I imagined the way I looked at him. A black man in that position, a black man doing so well, a black man that has made it real big. And from some of the people who attended, he has connections everywhere. And I believe that he couldn't have been able to perpetrate all those actions that he's been accused alone. It looks like since the evidences are beginning to come out, more people will be held responsible, more people will go down with him, because he may not have been able to perpetrate all that action alone. It's a whole chain. From level to level, from stage to stage, from state to state, from place to place, from club to club, from town to town. You know, it involves a whole lot of people. How do you explain the fact that narcotics are brought in? How do you explain the fact that minors, mostly girls, are brought in to pleasure the host of the party and the guests? How do you explain that such things have been happening over a very, very long time? Diddy parties have been happening for, say, like 20 years, and people are just trying to find out now what is actually going on in Diddy party. It looks like even the people who attend go back home without having a glimpse, without having any thoughts about that party. They go back home blank, because I could see them lying down, face down, motionless, and voila, he does everything he wants to do with them. Now that he's been incarcerated, I know that many people in Hollywood are shaking, because he just did not perpetrate all these actions alone. He has allies, he had partners, he had friends. He all had to do with a lot of money. Yes, there's a lot of handing over of money that went through. Just imagine those girls who used to come and, you know, pleasure the people around there. They didn't do that for free. What about the hosting? What about the people who attend? All of that wasn't for free. So I am glad that he's been incarcerated. Yes, I am glad. At least he is not a flight risk, because he is being kept and investigations are still going on. And there's so many victims are here, like 20 people are willing to testify against him. I don't know how he is going to pass this stage. I doubt that he's going to go free. I doubt that he'll ever step out of jail. There are too many evidences against him, and before federal government begins to follow you up, they have proof. and many people, many witnesses willing to testify against him. So I believe that justice is going to be served, even for the fact that Casey, months back, Casey had come out to tell the world that he used to abuse her. I really found that not true. I doubted that for a moment, up until when I saw the videos myself, and I was shocked, because he has never shown to be that kind of violent man. We have never had any information prior to him concerning any sort of crime or something, and now he is being linked to some because of community standards, I can't say certain words here. He's been linked to some MURDER in the past. His name is being called that he knows stuff about. How can a man so famous, so made, so popular, suddenly, with the twinkle of an eye, everything is just falling down like sand? He's just losing out of everything, from his businesses, from his fame, from his own life, from family life. He's losing out from everything. It was just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode, and la voila, it happened. This is somebody people respected. This is somebody people admire. Many people out there looked at him as their role models. He was like the epitome of success in the Black community. What actually happened? I know the narrative suggesting that because he's become so powerful and because he's a Black man, he's been accused of these things so they can bring him down. Yes, understandable, but if you look at it closely too, there are too many proofs against him. There are too many witnesses against him. So are you trying to say that all these people are lying against this man? What for? What for? Why do you think that people would be lying against him? Just like I told you, for so many years that I have been seeing him on TV, I never imagined he could be violent in any way. I never imagined he could be involved in any kind of crime, let alone the ones that he's been accused of. But not until when I saw the video of him actually